Morning as well. All right. Well, first of all, congratulations. We saw the Player of the Month award. What does that mean to you, and what does it mean for this last stretch of games here that you've made quite the impact as the team has kind of navigated the stretch beginning the second part of the year?
Yeah, I think obviously for me coming into this team, it was important for me to kind of work hard, get my spot, get minutes. And I think that was obviously the main thing for me. And then I just think to come into the team, the first few games, it was kind of like things weren't going our way. It wasn't exactly how we wanted it and we weren't getting the results we wanted. But I think you can see kind of the past two games, everything's come together. We've been scoring goals and we've been getting the results. And I think, yeah, for me, obviously as a forward, as a striker, the one thing I want to be doing is scoring goals. And I think as much as I know I could have had a few more in the last 4 games, I think I'm happy with where I'm at. And to get this award is obviously a real privilege for me.
Thank you for that. We'll open it up to any questions. If you guys have a question, please use the raise my hand option. We'll start with Theo. Theo, go ahead.
Hi, Ebs. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
No, not too bad. It's kind of talking about Player of the Month while we're on it. What does that award mean anything to you beyond just, it's great to be acknowledged to be doing well?
I think obviously that's the main thing, but I think for me, obviously it's one person that wins it, but I couldn't do what I've done without a team and a coach that believes in me. And I think coming to Houston, that's kind of been the biggest thing for me to have that. And I think so obviously it's me that's won the award, but I couldn't have done it without the team. And
beyond those minutes, what else have kind of Sarah and Juan been doing to give you belief and kind of give you that confidence?
I think just obviously showing belief in me, showing that they know what I can do, and like having the confidence in me to put me out there on the field after not playing for so long, but having the confidence to still put me out there and believe that I can still kind of do what they both know that I've done before.
What do you think was essential to this 4-match spell that's been so good? What for you? What's been the key thing that clicked?
I think for me, obviously, like I know what I can do, I know what my strengths are, but I think probably the first couple of games, it was kind of getting to know the team, getting to know the players that I was playing with. And then obviously that's kind of come together over the first couple of weeks in training and in games. And I think we've shown as a whole team over the past 2 games what we can do and the connections that we've got.
When you first signed, we spoke and you said, I've got unfinished business, both in this league. And like, obviously you talked about your frustrations and stuff. And I'm kind of curious to know, 4 goals in 4 matches, that's instant impact. That's what you were signed to do. But how much of your unfinished business is there to go now? What's the next goal? You got minutes, you got goals. You've really, really shown, you can be such a great player and this team is very suited to you, Juan's style. But kind of how do you keep chasing that next goal, and what is that next goal?
I think for me, I've obviously got off to a good start, but it's not just a good start that I want to have. Like I want to have a good season. I want to have a good next season. So for me, it's just probably about consistency now and keeping that going, keep scoring goals in as many games as possible. And just as a team, we keep getting results. We keep picking up points because obviously our goal as a team is to make playoffs. And I think right now we're in a good position, but everyone can see how tight the league is. So we can't afford to drop off at any point.
Are you looking forward to Rachel coming back and kind of how that will shake things up as well, both in the forward line and around the team?
Yeah, obviously Rachel's a big player in this team. And I think, obviously since I've been here, she's been gone. So I think it'll be good for her to come back to the team and just to add her quality into the team. It's only gonna make us better on the field.
And a last question for me is on Sunday. I think everyone's been feeling it, a really emotional day for any English person involved at all in football. Where did you watch the game, and have you been speaking to people back home, and what did that mean to you?
Yeah, I think that's obviously been a long time coming. I think England have kind of been there, but not quite there for a long time now. And I think for women's football, but for English football in general, it's like a big thing for us to kind of got that result, won that the championship. And I think I think you've seen all the English players saying it, but it's not just that's not the end. Like this is the beginning of something. And I think it's a massive statement for women's football and how good and how big women's football can be. And I think it's only going to carry on pushing it in the right direction.
Did you and Sarah watch the game together on Sunday? Have you been kind of connecting over it?
Watched some of it. We watched part of it together, yeah, and then part of it we weren't together.
Cheers. Thanks so much for your time, Ed.
Of course, thank you.
Anything else for Ebony before we wrap up? I'll sneak one in. Ebony, you guys were with the fans, season ticket members on Tuesday. How was that experience for you and for the rest of your teammates?
Yeah, I think for me and for the team, the fans are obviously a huge part of football, and I think probably during COVID, everyone saw how much kind of things changed and how different it was without the fans. And fans are a big part of what we do. So, and I think just to get to kind of give back to them, to kind of see them, meet with them, answer their questions is really good for us. And I think obviously for after a game, you get to sign a few things, you get to meet some fans, but you don't really get to meet all of them in that kind of environment. So I just think for us as a team and the men's team as well, to kind of take that time to meet the fans and to kind of just give back to them is really special.
I think we'll close with that. Ebony, thank you very much. We'll see you out there on Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Harris went to go grab Juan, so we should be able to chat with him here shortly. Go ahead and record. I'll go ahead and kick things off here, and then if you guys have any questions, please use the raise my hand option. Juan, the team moves back on the field today. How's the team navigating preparations for Sunday's game, the second of this road trip, as you guys prepare for OL rain?
Well, for us, we always prepare on the same way. We wanna impose our style. We wanna do and follow our football principles. So we work around them. Obviously, we look at what the opposition does or what's their strengths, where do we think are their weaknesses, but trying to focus on us recovering from last game, obviously long trip away, and getting ready to try to go over there and get the 3 points. No.
Thank you for that. If you guys have questions for Juan, use the raise my hand option. I'll sneak one in here. So we recently caught up with Ebony. She was awarded, as you know, the player of the month. She really gave credit to her team in terms of just helping her get to that award. What does it say about the team and Ebony to kind of hit this milestone and get this recognition at this point of the year?
I think that for us it's a moment of pride and a moment that we want to see more often. I think we didn't get one. I think it was from 2018, and it's credit to the whole team. When there is success individually, is normally because the team has been doing well. That's what's happened this time. Ebony has been doing really well, obviously getting 4 goals, but it's all down to her effort, her work, but the other players that are behind her, supporting her, making sure that everyone is pushing in the same direction, even players that maybe are not playing or in the team are training, they are pushing each other, they're competing, and that's massively important in order to get this individual recognition. That it's for Ebony, but for me is something that we all need to feel part of it, and her teammates are the first ones that should be feeling that way.
Thank you for that. We'll start here with Dustin. Dustin, go ahead.
Hey, Juan. Curious if you've spoken to Rachel after the final, and if you have any update on the timetable or when you may expect her to come back.
Well, with her, we still, we text each other. We haven't talked in terms of over the phone because sometimes the time difference is complicated with our times of training. But I think that this week is a week for her to celebrate. They are having lots of events back in England. It was a great moment for women's football in that country. And to be honest, I've worked for 10 years of my career over there, and I know how much that means. And I think it's a good moment for her to celebrate, and we hope to have her here with us very soon.
And with the form Ebony's been in and the other attacking options you have on the team, have you and the staff considered Rachel playing like she did with England in perhaps a different position, or have you thought about that any yet?
With Rachel, the good thing with her is she's a very versatile player. I've played against her, I think, when she played for West Ham, she was even centre mid. She can play all over the pitch because she's a quality player. So I think once she come back, we will assess, we will see how she's doing. Obviously, she's been training and playing in that left back position, and we will see how she can fit the best to the team. At the moment, it's very difficult to do plans even for into 2 games because it's, touching wood, you can get a couple of injuries. There can be people sending off and everything changes. And at this moment of the season, we need to perform every week, and not even every week because we have from now on almost 2 games a week for the rest of the month. So it will be a question of preparing each game and adapting, and she can adapt to a lot of positions. So we will see what's best suitable for the team.
Thanks, Juan.
You're welcome.
Up next, we'll go with Manuel. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, Juan?
Good, thank you, Manuel.
So I know Ola and Rain had a match on Tuesday. Do you have by any chance looked on the match, the way how the team played, or anything inside which players are you cautiously on the lookout for?
Obviously, we as every coach watch every game, but for me, they have a very clear style. They know what they do. They know how they want to win football games. In this case, it ended up on a draw for them. But as I said at the beginning, for me, what I really worry about is how our team needs to perform to win, how our team needs to behave on every situation of the game, and trying to focus a little bit around us. We know that they have very good individuals, so do we. But for me, this is played for 11 women, and we need to be the best team in order to win. Individually, I think it's a matchup. I think they go, as I said, very good players, and we have very good players. And I hope that the work that brings us the victory is that we can be better as a team. And again, not only the ones that start, but also everyone that finished. That so far, every sub that we've worked on or put on, they've had a very good impact. So that's something that we really need to look at and make sure we are prepared for a very difficult game in Seattle.
Yes, especially on the difficult game, this team is Oil Rain is practically one of the top teams defensively. Any thoughts on how our attack have gotten 4 goals in the last 2 games? Any preparations how the team will be set up or the attackers will penetrate that defensive line?
Yeah, I think we want to keep working in what we've been doing. I think we want to be a team that is aggressive if there is a space, and we're going to be a team that is composed if there is time on the ball or a moment where we can have longer possessions. If we can manage both aspects, I believe we can create trouble not only to our Rain but to every team in the league. And if the players keep performing how they've done, being very good on those 1v1 situations, getting in the box with attention to detail when it comes to balls through, to shots from distance, I think we will score from almost every situation, and we can add that to being very, very efficient on set pieces. Hopefully the goals will come our way, and we can be a bit more solid defensively. It's a good chance to winning one of the most difficult, as you say, places in the league.
All right. And my last question is, Tuesday we had the event with the season ticket members. How does it feel as for you to see a lot of fans not only supporting the Dynamo but also supporting the Dash? How does it feel for you to be involved with the fan base that night?
That event, it was a brilliant day that the club organized. I think it shows the direction that the club is going, where the Dynamo and the Dash work together, go together in the same direction. Sharing that time with the fans was fantastic. Is the reason why I came here, because the quality of the fans, how much they are involved with both parts of the club, and the support that the Dash had was fantastic. I think obviously coming on the back of 2 victories, it's always great to do those events because players can see how much it matters to people, their work. Having a bit of a close contact relation with them is brilliant, because sometimes you see the fans in the stands, but you don't get to know them, even if I think our players are super close to our fans. So I think the event overall that the club put together was fantastic, and I hope we can do more, because the fans are the reason why we do our job. So yeah, great day.
Gracias, Juan.
Yeah, welcome.
Up next, we'll go with Theo.
Hi, Juan. I'm not qualified to ask this question, but I will anyway.
Yeah.
Did you learn any two-stepping, line dancing? Did you get on a bull at the Stampede? And how much Texas did you absorb?
Yeah, I think I'm getting used to it step by step. Don't have a lot of time off, but when I try to go and get to know the city a little bit more and the culture and the traditions. I didn't have the chance to go on those things because I was chatting with the fans, but I'm sure the time will come and I will be hopefully enjoying, the rodeo and other activities that you guys have over here. I'm looking forward to them, and hopefully soon I go into on the bull and have some fun. But I didn't have the chance the other day.
Maybe if the Dash win the NWSL Championship, we can get you as a guest of honor at the Houston Rodeo or something. I know Maria's very, very involved in that scene and has a lot of experience. Getting back to the football though, but I did want to know about that. Getting back to the football, I was kind of curious. We spoke a little bit about it with Ebbs. The long-term goals. Rachel's coming back in. Dustin, spoke about that as well. But what are the kind of the ways you can see this team being different from what we've seen over 2 games? I guess maybe that's Rachel as a 10 or Ebony as a winger. Like, are you still figuring out your best 11, or after kind of 2 games with 2 phenomenal results and a lot of goals, are you starting to know your best 11, or is it still a development?
It's still on development, but it will be always on development. I think my values as a coach, and I said this to the players, they need to earn their position on regular basis through their commitment, their attitude, and their performances. And every week there are spots available for them to show what they can do. If you look at my career, I have done that a lot of the times where people thought, this is the team, and then it changed. And because I see things, so because the players normally are the ones earning those positions. Obviously, when you come on the back of 2 wins like the ones we have had, with one without the internationals, the other one with the international scene, some of them went into the lineup, some of them didn't. For this game, we will see how we finally get to it, because there's still another training session. There is the possibilities of a lot of things happening, but it's always an open, it's open to all the players that they can get into it. But what is not open is that we want our team to be recognized, to be seen by the fans, how they feeling that they know what we're aiming for. And I think those football principles, we're starting to see them. They are growing into the players. Players are already using even the language that I like them to use to understand the concepts, and it seems to be going in the right direction. So the work that we've been doing during the weeks is good, and hopefully we can show it again on Sunday.
And I know, Natalie Jacobs has kind of made that right back position her own. It's been kind of an interesting development, something that you've come in and brought her in over Hayley Hansen. Can you tell me about that decision and how that kind of, we're seeing that on the training ground, those battles for first team slots?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Natalie has been the one earning that little race between them two. Liz could play there. We have a Lozy that can play there as well. So I think she's bringing a little bit of composure on the ball, but still, and obviously she came up with the assist and another almost, like the one that ended up on that counter press that we scored in the game against Chicago. But Hayley has been a very important player. On the first day she came on as a left back, then the other day she came on as a right back. She's very versatile as well. She got experience. She's a good defender. So there is a lot of things that Hayley is definitely bringing to the table, and for me, it is very close. Obviously, Natalie's been the one that has played the last 2 games, but it doesn't necessarily say that it will be the ones playing the next ones. So at the moment, there is a very good battle, and that's exactly what I want to see at training. Like if you have people fighting for positions, it's people that doesn't switch off, it's people that is 200% committed to the job, it's people that, like creating that competitive environment for the players to don't know who is going to play almost until the last minute, where I think it is healthy and it makes people better. When you are challenged on your life, not only for the players, but for all of us, I think you try to get better and you don't get comfortable. So that's what I would like to have on every position. And to be fair, we are almost in that situation.
Last one for me, the Dash are nearly, I think, around +10 over their XG on the season. In the 2 games you've been in charge, +3 and +2.2, I believe. Are these numbers playing on your mind at all, or is this just silly numbers? XG is not perfect. By the end of the season, we'll maybe have more of a realization of this.
The XG is something that we look a lot now, but at the same time, they can be a bit tricky. Like I remember, for example, the chance that when Ebony scored that goal, the third one, that it was basically a 1v1 with the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper was on the goal line. He had a very low XG, and those things, they, for me, I think we're creating better chances than the opposition, and I think we're shooting more on target than the opposition. We are, my feeling when I'm on the sideline, I think that we are controlling games. So I think that's good. Especially the other day, I was talking about it actually with the players, and one thing that we did really well against Gotham, we struggled to come into the game, and so they, when you see these graphics now that we're talking, so every XG goes like up a line. So the first 50 minutes they were going up, so they had a few chances, but between, I think it was the 15th minute and the end of the game, I think they had only two moments where they could score, one of them very low and the other one, it was their goal. I think that's fantastic, having a team that you play away from home and having them 75 minutes when they create one chance. Okay, they score it, but then a half chance. Apart from that, there was no chances. I think that's credit to the team. So data is something that it is important, but at the same time, you need to read into it, and it's a bit, you need to look at it with it's objective, but at the same time, you need to look at it on a subjective way. I think football, it's a game where there is a lot of decision making, and data is still not at the level to drive every decision. So it is very important to read really well what we take from the data and how data can help us. I think that's it is very important compared to other games, like where there is maybe less decision making involved, like, I don't know, baseball, for example. That will be a more statistical game, like while football, there is 11 players, it's an open field, a lot of decisions that are very hard to control with data.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for your time, Juan. Appreciate you.
Thank you you all guys for covering us, and hopefully we can win on Sunday and have another great week. Thank you for covering the Dash.
Juan, I think we have one more.
Go on. Sorry. Sorry. Excuse me, Victor. I thought we finished. It's fine. Sorry. Go on.
No problem. Is it just one more?
Yep.
It's
go ahead,
okay.
Victor.
We can do two with Victor if you got 2 questions. No problem at all.
Okay. Well, let me go straight into the Ted Siegel, the owner, present at the last game. Just wondering, what does that mean for you as a coach? Maybe having that exchange of ideas, having that proximity to the owner, and how does that compare to your experiences with clubs in Spain and England?
Yeah, I think that was massive for me. Ted was a big part of why I decided to take on the role with the Dash. He was heavily involved in the process when we were talking between the club and myself. For me, him explaining his vision, how he sees this club going forward on both sides, for me it is massive. It's something that I have not experienced either at Tottenham Hotspur or at Real Betis. I didn't have those experiences where the owners or the president of the whole club was involved in my hiring, and I think that shows the commitment and where this club is going. So I think we are all very, very lucky to have someone like Ted driving the boat, we will say in Spanish, and obviously seeing him in person because he's based there in New York, and coming around and chatting to him was brilliant. And I'm aware that he really enjoyed the game because obviously we won. So it was a great day overall, and really, if at some point you have the chance to chat to him about the vision and where the club is going, I think it's a privilege to be able to work here with the Houston Dash / Dynamo, because we are the same. So yeah, it was fantastic.
It's an exciting time to be a Dash fan. I think for anyone who's followed the team throughout its years, it seems like this might be the good one. This might be the one they make the playoffs. You've been, I think, a good part of that. Even it's just a couple games. At the same time, it is a little bit of a weird situation, right? You're here as the interim. There's still an uncertainty with the James Clarkson situation. Just wondering, how do you handle that situation? And have you been told? Is there a plan in place? Let's say tomorrow the NWSL declares James Clarkson has been innocent. No problems. What would be the plan of action, or is there a plan of action?
Well, I think at the moment that's not really down to me. I'm here to do the job of the head coach until my contract finishes. At this moment in time, that situation with James Clarkson is obviously something that I'm not very aware of what happened, and it's down to legal teams and investigations. Also, it's something that it goes out of my hands, to be honest. When you are in my position as a head coach, anywhere you almost live day by day, because every day is a big test, especially Sundays. So I haven't really thought too much about it. I think we just need to wait and see what's the final outcome of everything, and then we will make a decision.
But you've been promised, contractually, at least you've been promised the rest of the season.
Well, promise no, that's my contract.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. Contractually, you're at least guaranteed, for example, per se, the rest of the season.
Yes. Well, that my contract. That's my contract. Yes, as it was announced when I signed.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty, Juan Carlos. And
no, it's all good. Thank you, Victor.
All right, guys, we'll close with that. Thank you very much. We'll have media resources later tonight. Thank you, Juan.
You're welcome. Have a good day, guys. Glenn.